Hello, my name is Representative Pam Powers Hanley, and I represent LD9 in Tucson in the Arizona House. Well, today is May 26, 2020. It's a Wednesday, Red for Ed. We also have teachers in the gallery today because we're supposed to talk about the budget. And so I did a video a couple days ago about the flat tax and the bad proposals that the Republicans have regarding taxes. But today's video is a follow-up. So late last night, of course we have to do everything after dark, late last night both the caucuses met and went over the budget bills. There's 11 budget bills, and what they do is they break it down by subject, right? So there's a health bill, there's a criminal justice bill, there's an infrastructure bill, things like that. And so we went through all of the bills, including the tax omnibus that has the flat tax and a whole list of tax giveaways. In fact, it's kind of interesting because many tax giveaways that were killed in past years are in this budget. And so we have uber tax giveaways in this particular budget. But you know, there was somebody on Facebook who says, well, if we're cutting all these taxes and we're not losing any services, what's the harm? Well, the problem is that we are losing because there are things that are still underfunded from the Tea Party era, which started in, the 2010 or so. And so what are we losing in this budget? So yes, we have $1.5 billion in tax cuts, including the flat tax proposal. But what we don't have is we don't have any money for teacher pay, right? So we are choosing to still be number 50 in teacher pay. We also have no money for adverse childhood experiences in this budget. This is things like children being raised in poverty with food and housing insecurity. $0 for adverse childhood experiences. So again, we are choosing to remain number 50, worst place in the country to raise a child. But we got tax cuts, right? We also have zero money in this budget for the Housing Trust Fund. The Housing Trust Fund in the past has been historically funded $40 million a year until the Tea Party era when they kept sweeping it. In recent years, we've put a little money back into it, like 10 or $15 million, not 40. I had a bill to return it to 40 this year. No, zero money for the Housing Trust Fund. What are we doing for affordable housing? Tax breaks for developers. Yay, that's the way to do it. And so the LIHTC, low income housing tax credit, which has been defeated many years in a row and was going to be defeated again this year, is in the budget. And so what's wrong with LIHTC? Watch the Frontline investigation of the federal program. This is a state program that mirrors the federal program, makes bank for developers. Whether or not you get a lot of affordable housing out of it is a whole nother thing. So bad idea. The other thing is we have $0 in here for maternal and child health. Remember, I've been on a soapbox for years about maternal and child health. We are wasting billions in the nursery intensive care unit because we don't have prenatal care. Access to prenatal care dropped in 2013 and never went back up under Doug Ducey. So access to prenatal care, access to postnatal care would help a lot. We have $0 for that. You might remember a couple years ago, Senator Kate Brophy-McGee was all in the news about maternal and child health because healthy moms and babies were dying after childbirth in the state of Arizona. They had like a study committee and they were going to look at the problem. Nothing has been done. So sad those healthy moms and babies are dying, but we are a pro-life state who really doesn't care once somebody is born. So what is in the budget? Gobs of tax breaks, right? So we have tax breaks for millionaires, tax breaks for billionaires. Ironically, even though the Republicans fought against legalization of marijuana, the pot barons are going to be in the millionaire and billionaire category, and they will make bank on that flat tax. We also have tax breaks for elite investors. We have tax breaks for retired military brass. The colonels and generals have been trying to get a tax break for a year. They're getting $48 million. Housing Trust Fund usually gets 40, it's getting 0. But military brass, sure, they get a tax cut. Everybody gets a tax cut. It's kind of like the Oprah show where she says everybody gets a car, except that Oprah gave cars to poor people too. We don't give shit to poor people, excuse my language, but this is a terrible budget for the people of Arizona. We have been waiting now for an hour and a half to figure out what's going on with the Republicans. Apparently, they're not all on board on their budget too. So, could be interesting. Stay tuned.